I power walked down to that pile of gummy bears and back. I should probably set the pile out further, or closer, so I can get at them.
Hey, what's up, pups? How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. Or it's not Monday, it's Wednesday. Oh my gosh, it's Wednesday. I am completely out of the loop. Mentally, not doing so well. And a little on the blue side, trying to get out of it. What's up, Captain Falcon over on YouTube says, have you seen the leaks for the full roster or no? Well, my title says Dragon Ball Sparking Zero art cover reveal, so we'll probably see that and see the full roster. So we'll be getting into that. But the answer is no, we haven't yet. We have not. But I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks to everyone who's hanging out with me. Today we're on YouTube, Rumble X, and I went ahead and also threw on my locals as well that you can find over on Rumble. And if you're new to the show, we talk about pop culture. I usually just see what's happening in the world. You know, a lot of it's kind of on the downslide just because all the woke garbage infesting pop culture. So I'm just your average pup throwing in his 2 cents. You know, we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Part of hopefully my goal that I try to do is just bring back that nostalgic spirit when we see things that we remember from our childhood and try to rekindle that flame, because I think it's dying and I think it's being infested, and we gotta rip those weeds out. And what better way to do it than just to laugh and mock at them, and also obviously not buying their products and stuff like that if it's hot garbage. You know that thing. But yeah, if you're new and you enjoy the show, feel free to hit the like and subscribe button over on YouTube and Rumble, and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. Usually try to do that Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. The Power Up podcast show, either solo or with a guest at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then I do game streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And in the weekend, yeah, I was about to say weeknights, but no, this technically would be the weeknights, the weekend. Like sometime in the afternoon, all that stuff. So really appreciate the help in terms of pushing that algorithm. You can always check out the membership, aspects of YouTube and Rumble as well if you want to help support the channel that way. Nothing special, between the tiers or anything like that at the moment. But thankful that you guys are hanging out with me. Surprisingly, we've got a lot of news that caught my attention here, so we'll hop right into it. Obviously, like in the title, the biggest one that caught my eye was, I guess, Nintendo and the Pokemon company. The actual name is slipping my mind at the moment. I know it's like Pokemon something. I guess they're actually going ahead and suing Palworld, so we'll look into that. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero information is out there. We'll look into that and a bunch of other stuff that we'll dive right into. So I got this one open right now. So I guess Square Enix president reveals Final Fantasy. Oh gosh, damn it. That is 15, I believe, because X is 10, V is 5, and I is 1. So did I say 15? 16. And Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth did not meet profit expectations. So Square Enix president and representative director Takashi Kiryu revealed that the company's two most recent released Final Fantasy titles, 16 and 7 Rebirth, did not meet the company's profit expectation. In a document outlining the company's financial results briefing that was held in May but only published today, he shared in the HD Games sub-segment, "We released multiple new titles, including major titles such as Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, but profits unfortunately did not meet our expectation. And despite the release of Foam Stars and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in Q4, initial sales were not as strong as expected, in addition to which an impairment was made to the content production account, resulting in the operating loss. And it was apparently 8.1 billion yen, or $5.7 million. Well, I mean, the big fiasco was around Tifa, because people were looking forward to that, and then you had to, tone her down a bit in terms of like the boobs and stuff. Men love boobs. Sorry that that's such a shock to people. As for why these games did not meet profit expectation, he suggested it had to do with the company mismanaging its title release windows. That's the reason. Yeah. Subsegment failed to better its profitability, posting operating losses in every year of our previous medium-term plan. In addition to this, we did not manage our title portfolio across the company as well as we could have, which I believe resulted in opportunity losses due to cannibalization between our own titles. Interestingly, Square Enix has previously informed IGN, stop talking to them. Stop talking to IGN. They're garbage. That it considered the initial sales results of Final Fantasy XVI to be extremely strong, and we will continue to carry out a wide range of initiatives to encourage even more people to play the game. And then they revealed they sold 3 million copies of 16 7 days after its release on June 22nd, 2023. Wait, didn't 16 get backlash too because people got ass mad because there weren't enough diversity in there? Is that the medieval one? And they were like, fuck off. Like, doesn't make sense sort of thing. Interestingly, that was around 8% of all owners of PlayStation 5, given Square Enix shared only 38 million PS5 consoles shipped globally. And that's of March 31st, 2023. They just released it to Steam, apparently, and it's listed as the top seller. There you go. Got that 22,684, according to SteamDB. This is saying it's not a surprise it didn't meet expectation because the company's profitability shrunk from 49.2 billion to 14.9 billion yen, and that's a decline around 315 million to 95.5 million. It's a drop of approximately 69.7%. And then to address it, they announced a complete overhaul to the massive decline, a complete overhaul to its corporate philosophy of how to make games. Is the philosophy to not listen to a bunch of idiots out there, and also like listen to the gamers, stop trying to censor stuff, stop trying to change stuff? Damn well if you would have just let Tifa alone and all that stuff, like people would gobble it up. Because, a lot of the activists out there don't like to admit it, but a lot of the video game industry makes up of the white men, those evil white men. And, sex sells. It's literally what I learned from a liberal college that I went to. Money, sex, power. You can find those sort of themes in any advertisement out there. You want to know what doesn't sell? Censorship. Keep trying, though. I'm sure it'll work eventually. Okay, what's its philosophy? Specifically, it plans to enrich people's own life with our help of creating precious, unforgettable experiences. The thing is with the remake of 7, it's already been established. All people are asking is to literally overhaul it to today's graphics. Maybe, make the voice acting a little bit better. I need to play the original OG. I'm unique because I didn't play a lot of Final Fantasy games. I'm trying to. but I didn't play with them and grow up with them, so I can separate the two, and I'm sure I'll enjoy the OG just as much as I played the first part 1, I guess you could say. I enjoyed it then, even with all the stupid crap that they did to it. But as for that game, it's already been enriched in their hearts. The power of content is that of moving people's hearts. Well, you've already established that. The experience that people are impressed to etched in my mind as unforgettable experiences over time will be part of people's sense of value over time, leading to moral support. Unforgettable experience enrich people's... Okay, I feel like I'm literally repeating the same thing over and over and over. We're getting into mindless babble here. That Park Place. Trying to pad the article, I see. That's all right, though. Okay, it also detailed that it will shift from quantity to quality, delivering ensured fun. Almost like that should have been like the thing to begin with, you know? Instead of whatever it is you were trying to do. So in order to do this, they're apparently striving to create the optimal profile. Why did I say profile? Portfolio. Damn my stuttering. Striking a balance between a product out approach that gives creators imagination, free reign, or creators' imaginations free reign as they develop content, and a market-in approach that references customers' voice and data to inform our development. It added that it will engage honestly with our customers, sure, and strive for a regular launch cadence, focusing our development efforts and investment on titles with strong potential to be loved for years forever. And then it will continue to monitor the value of content production account closely and to work to keep it to an appropriate level. There you go. There it is right there. There's a screenshot from its medium-term business plan. And then that Park Place asks, what do you make of Square Enix admitting that the Final Fantasy releases did not oh my gosh, literally combining meat and profit together. Damn it. Expectations. Sorry. Right under here, here's the link. Numerous gamers announced boycott of Square Enix Dragon's Quest 3 HD 2D remake following removal of male and female character options. What do I make of it not meeting it? That link right below. There's the reason why it's not meeting profit expectation, because you're doing stupid shit like that. For heaven's sakes. The world slowly becoming more and more retarded. Insane. So Video Game Chronicle also covered an article similar to what we just talked about. I guess same topic. It may be written differently. It should be. If not, then that's an issue. So let's just see if they add anything different. Okay. Didn't meet expectations. Underperformed. Rebirth was released around 1 month prior to this investor briefing. Underperformed games were initially PS5 console exclusives, and as such, it could be argued that had they been released on the Xbox Series XS2, Square Enix could have generated extra income from them. I mean, that's just a given. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I wasn't aware that the more you branch out, the more you can make money. You know, if it was on other consoles, they could get more extra income. It's like, really? I didn't... Wow. What a twist. Okay, and since this briefing, like we read, 16 has been released on PC. 7 Rebirth remains exclusive to PS5. See, I can't even play it because I don't have a PS5. And heaven forbid I go out and buy the PS5 Pro, or then I would have to buy the stupid disc attachment and then pay $150 if I wanted to get the Game Pass or something, part PlayStation Plus online, PlayStation Game Pass, or whatever stupid garbage they're doing. Elsewhere in the briefing, the company said it will shift to a multi-platform strategy. Good job. Create a global environment that allows more customers to enjoy our major franchises and AAA titles, including from our back catalog. And then it's promoting Foam Stars. It's going to be free to play, folks, next month. It's originally $30. Going to be free. The director of 7 Remake says he's confident the third part will be one of the greatest video games ever made. I mean, it was already one of the greatest video games ever made. VGC's review of the... No, I don't... Okay, so that's just their thoughts on the process. Noticing... Okay, for some reason it was like... Anyway, sorry. Thing on my end. So there you go. There's some... what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Thoughts about Square Enix and all that fun stuff. Let's see. What else do we have? Let's see. So this was yesterday. Assassin's Creed Shadows executive producer admits Ubisoft is going beyond what is accepted truth. So this caught my eye. So Mark Alex Cota, Ubisoft's executive producer for its Assassin's Creed franchise, recently admitted the company's aim with Assassin's Creed Shadows is to go, quote, beyond what is accepted truth. Is the accepted truth the fact that a very abnormal situation, i.e. a black person being in Japan at the time and having a sword and stuff is an abnormal situation, and that Assassin's Creed Shadows should have respected Japan and have, you know, an Asian samurai, a male Asian samurai instead, then yes, then absolutely. Then that is the accepted truth. I'll accept that. In an interview with the beloved and never wrong and never biased New York Times that Ubisoft used as a hit piece to attack its former fans and potential customers. It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for him. Revealed exactly. That would have been a good time. If I actually had that clip uploaded, that would have been a good time to play it. Shoot. Oh, well. Revealed exactly what he and his team are doing with the game. He told the outlet, "We want people to be passionate about history." I thought you said that it was it's fictional and that people really shouldn't be taking it seriously. But now here you are saying that you need to be passionate about history. So what does that mean? Oh, good. He explains it. Stay true to well-documented moments and historical figures. Really? Really? You guys, instead of going to the what is it? The Japanese, we've read it like a bunch of times. The place that actually has the historical documentation of Yasuke and having little to no information of his entire history, let alone him being a samurai. But instead went to Thomas Lockley, who wrote a bunch of bullshit about his life because he wanted to write a light novel or something or whatever. Oh my gosh. You think it would stay ingrained in my brain because we've read articles like this over and over again. Why don't they hire me? At this point, all the articles I'm reading, I'm an expert just like these people. But not shy away from having a critical point of view and defying cliches to go beyond what is the accepted truth. Again, I've said this before. I'll say it again. When these people learned that Yasuke had very little information written about him, he was a historical figure. He was a Pak, as the woke fags say. They possibly jizzed the longest they have ever jizzed in their entire life, because it was everything. It was the woke, DEI manifestation of perfection just given to them on a platter. They were so happy when they found out about this dude, because they could make up whatever they wanted. And that's what they're doing. So couple this with what game director Charles, is that Benoit? Benoit. Chris Benoit? Oh no. Chris Benoit, no, you did a terrible deed. Told Xbox Wire, and it seems abundantly clear that Ubisoft is, in reality, trying to rewrite history. Remember me for history. Benoit said in May. I might have been saying his name wrong too, but then again, he doesn't deserve a proper enunciation of his name. To be fair, my last name gets mispronounced all the time, so fuck it. We're at the end of the Sengoku era. Goku. You did it, Goku. In a turning point of Japan history, Assassin's Creed is well known for its depiction of the history and accurate recreation of the world. Notice how they're specifically stating the world now, because they want to make sure that when they're saying we're being historically accurate, they can then veer off and say, well, we're talking about the environment and all that stuff. But yet they've also been getting shitted on because, one, they had the sakura blossoms not at the appropriate season, and there's still that issue of that what is it, that copyright with the flag. Like, there's a flag in there that is clearly not of the era, and they're just like, screw it, we're gonna leave it. So they're even wrong on that. We're showing real historical figures such as Oda Nobunaga and a lot of events that happened during the time. So you're not only playing in feudal Japan, but learning about this fantastic time period. You're missing the point where whoever, was it even this person? You're missing the point of when you wanted to specifically showcase that through a different person's eyes, aka this guy right here. You're failing to mention this one this time around. So, ironically, the New York Times' Zachary Small also shared that Kote believes this, quote, approach will be inevitable open Assassin's Creed. Oh, inevitably. There's a Y at the end there. I should just do a drunk stream every time, because then I can just claim that it's the alcohol that I can't read. I'm an illiterate. To more criticism in the future, but the developers have decided it was a risk worth taking. It was worth bastardizing history, for the sake of equality and DEI. But remember, Kote got his panties in a twist, and he broke down when Elon Musk said that DEI kills art, and then he had to resort to his mindfulness app to apparently clear his headspace. How about you read some scripture? That'll be more soul fulfilling in your life than your retarded mindfulness app. Mostly because it's the truth. When he found out that Assassin's Creed Shadows features a gay African protagonist in feudal Japan setting, was that actually confirmed? That they're making him gay too? Might as well just make the game at this point Yasuke going around trying to find his butt buddy. So he informed GameFile. Okay, we've read this before, but the tweet broke him. Here you go. It broke him. First thing I wanted to do was go back on X that I had deleted and just tweet back. And I just took a step back because I had this great epiphany because I saw the mindfulness app send a notification upon my phone saying, did you do your mindfulness task today? I don't know what it is. And I did a bit of mindfulness to try to explore the emotions that this tweet created. Oh my gosh. The fact that you cannot internalize your emotion and have to resort to to an app is rather sad. Now, take it from someone who's actually been diagnosed with, ADHD and depression, apparently highly functional person with Asperger's. Recently found that out too, which actually it does make sense with a lot of stuff happening. But then again, I had someone else tell me that that's not true. So that was fun when, apparently someone who has never been involved in my life knows better than me about my life. He then accused Musk of feeling hatred while being the one to actually express hatred. For me, Elon, it's sad. He's just feeding hatred. This is, okay. We're not reading this anymore. We've read this so many fucking times. It's always the same thing. It's always the same projection. We're not the enemy. You're the enemy. Blah, 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 blah. But your actions clearly show that you're the enemy. Oh, my gosh. Anyway. He then shared his beliefs Ubisoft will convince players of his team's point of view, which we now know is going beyond what is the accepted truth within the first 15 minutes of the game. Yasuke is very, very grounded in the history of the franchise and how we make our choices. Why are they acting like Yasuke has been like a part of Assassin's Creed all this time and is now just being revealed to the public? Like, have they had a Yasuke statue like since the beginning? And as everyone, walk in, they like rub his, how sometimes when people have like a statue, like tradition, well, they'll like rub the nose of like of whatever the mascot is or something. Is that what they did to Yasuke? They rub his, junk or something like that because they're like, oh, you're the DEI, mascot of us all. Oh my gosh, I didn't even read the next line. We've got a super mysterious historical character from which not much is known about. And for us, it was what we wanted in Assassin's Creed. Translation, holy crap, we can make up whatever we want about this guy. And then when we get backlash because we have terrible ideas, we cater to a bunch of fringe weirdos and XYZ, we can fall back on the excuse of, well, you're just mad because he's a historical figure and, not a whole lot is known about him. Oh, my gosh. Okay, we're going on with him complaining about Elon still. I was reviewing the game very recently, and I was like, the answer is there. I just hope and wish that people can keep an open mind about this and see the game for what it is, he elaborated. It's an Assassin's Creed game, and I believe the best one we've ever built, he declared. Except people have kept an open mind about it, because they saw that first, 15 or 11. See, right here, what he says. If they're not convinced of what we're doing after you spend money and play the first 11 minutes and 47 seconds of the game, you can have the discussion. There's the thing, is that these people are now complaining that even based on your decision of watching a trailer, you're XYZ, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're XYZ, and that you need to buy the game, and then we can have a conversation. Completely defeating the whole point of what a trailer is all about. I even think, games that show just the cinematic cutscenes and try to pass that off as a trailer is kind of a disservice. It's like, I don't care about that. I want to see the gameplay. What else we got? Stuttering Craig. Yeah, we've read this in a past article too. He has an insider, and apparently the pre-orders are not doing so hot, very low. There's maybe they have over 900 stores, less than one pre-order per store. because it says less than 800 pre-orders combined with Xbox and PS5. Oof. And then looking at the PlayStation Store, here you go, guys. If you want to get the ultimate version, a measly $130. Wait a minute. Wait. Looking at is 16th in pre-order behind. Oh, okay. Behind various pre-orders like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Dragon Age. There you go. Oh my gosh, this article is going on forever. I feel like now they're padding a bunch of stuff. But I think never mind. We made it to the end. Something about yeah. Then they're hoping like during the seasons that it'll sell really well because it's Christmas season. I don't think this would fall under, Black Friday or anything because it's a rather new game. Maybe it will. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done like a Black Friday run because I really don't care. Why do Black Friday and actually physically go to the store when you can just do Cyber Monday? But there you go. That one was an interesting one. I think it's funny. Well, that was weird. Sorry, there was like a weird glitch on my end. I think it's Brave. I think Brave is the problem. Let's see. Nintendo has added 4 more SNES games to Switch Online. So we got Battletoads Double Dragon, and then you get like these Japanese games. And then you can, if you get the Nintendo Switch Online subscription service, you got your NES, your SNES, Game Boy Color, Sega Mega Drive, Genesis, N64, and Game Boy Advance games are available to players who are subscribed to the service more expensive expansion pack tier. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about in terms of these subscription tiers. Your best bang for your buck is going to be the most expensive ones. Dude, just physically own the games. Get them that way. Get a ROM if you need to. Do whatever you can to where you actually have it in some way, shape, and form. Because they want you to go digital. They want you to go digital, and the best bang for your buck is going to be the most expensive tier. We clearly see that with Xbox because they're like changing their tiers to like, how many different tier subscriptions now are there? I lose count because it's like every other time it's like we got rid of this one and added this one, but it doesn't have this. This one has that one, but it doesn't have this. Ultimately, once again, leading to the best one is going to be the most expensive one. So they added Battletoads Double Dragon, which I should try to. It's a beat 'em up game. I like beat 'em up games, so I should try that out. Big Run, apparently a racing game. Cosmo Gang the Puzzle, falling block style puzzles, and Kunio-kun no Dodgeball, Deo Zenin Zugo. So if you want to play dodgeball, play that dodgeball. See, this I understand, but, if these never came over to America, like, we have no attachments to them. And are they actually, like, does this say if they're, like, translated in English and something? Or are they just throwing it up there just to add it to the catalog? Not seeing anything. But if you guys are interested in what's being added to the Switch Online, there you go. Speaking of the Switch, we got another one too. We got supposedly the new Switch has some image leaks. but before that, I thought this was really interesting. Also coming from Video Game Chronicles, because apparently Nintendo is looking to add the SNES mouse support to Switch Online games. Remember that? Where I think, Mario Paint is the only game that maybe used the mouse? I don't know. Maybe one other. It's looking to explore ways to support SNES mouse games on Nintendo Switch Online. That's according to evidence found in the service's backend by reliable data miner Luigi Blood. Oh. So according to the user, Switch Online's SNES emulator. Look at that. See, even they're using an emulator. See, this is what I think is funny. Is that a lot of these companies that want you to go digital and play their old backlog games are either really bad ports or their actual emulation. It's just officially Nintendo's and stuff. And specifically with Nintendo, I find funny because, they're the ones going after, like they went after, Emu Paradise. They're going after Palworld, but that's kind of like a different thing. But they go after like, the ROMs, the ROM sites and the emulators and stuff like that, like the Switch emulator that just got taken off. They go after this, and then it turns out that they're either using emulators themselves, or they're porting it, and their ports are inferior to the ROMs, because they have to change stuff, and they can't even get their ports right. So the user apparently looked inside the data, has secretly contained, and he found that apparently looking inside of the emulator, it has secretly contained SNES mouse support since launch. However, what's notable is that there's now apparent evidence that it was recently significantly updated in the emulator code. In today's SNES NSO update, Luigi Blood found evidence of a major rework to the SNES mouse support, including support for both controller ports, the ability to replace inputs of SNES mouse devices, and a different behavior mode. It's speculated that the mention of SNES mouse behavior configuration could mean that Nintendo is looking into ways to support the SNES mouse in different, possible more accessible ways than using a USB mouse. Only 2 games were released with SNES exclusively using its mouse accessories, Mario Paint and Mario & Wario. Oh, I didn't know about Mario & Wario. A third, Sound Fantasy, was completed but never released, and then many other titles used the mouse via the second controller port for additional functionality. Oh, I didn't know about additional functionality, but like what do you need? Anyway, most of the games that were released for the SNES mouse compatibility were exclusive to Japan. Ah, that explains it. Some first-party games, Nintendo games released following the release of the SNES mouse, warned players that the mouse was not compatible, such as Super Mario All-Stars. I had that game. Do you know there was 2 versions of that game? Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. I wish I got that one instead, because then you got everything. But there you go. Anybody dying to use the SNES mouse? It might be your dreams might be coming true. So alleged images of Nintendo's new Switch have appeared online. Shows a design featuring an 8-inch screen and magnetic Joy-Cons. Alleged images of the Nintendo Switch successor console have appeared online, showing a design that's not too dissimilar from the previous console. The images, which appeared on Reddit but were originally sourced from a Chinese social media site, shows a device with a larger 8-inch screen, magnetic Joy-Cons, and USB-C supports on both the top and bottom. While the images are unverified, one source who has not seen the final Switch 2 console but has been briefed on Nintendo's plans, told VGC that the Reddit image matched what the company has told partners to expect from its design. And then VGC has asked Nintendo to comment on the story. According to today's image, Switch 2 will include 12 gigabytes of RAM compared to the 4 gigabytes of the original Switch. Support for HDMI 2.1, 256 gigabyte of internal storage compared to the 32. which matches an alleged shipping leak from earlier in the year. So while the design shown in the images show similar controls to the current Switch, there are some notable changes, such as revised SLSR buttons and front-faced player LEDs. And the article does not show the pictures, so completely defeating the point of the article. Can we click in here real quick? Let's see, does that open up? Yeah, that's showing on your guys's. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. So we got that. Got this right here. Yeah, I mean, there's your bigger screen. Yeah, of course it's not going to. Let's see. Of course. See, if it's just going to be a bigger version of the Switch 2, then it kind of makes sense why they're not really going to change the name of it or anything like that, because they probably want people, you know, unknown parents to be like, when the console goes up, they're just going to say, we're looking for the Switch. So then that gives the opportunity of whoever's selling it to try to sell them the Switch 2 as opposed to like the Switch 1, I guess. So you got your large 8-inch screen. Nintendo patent suggested it would be opting for a new magnetic attachment for its controllers. Going to be launching with an LCD screen as opposed to instead of a more premium OLED in order to bring down costs. And then peripheral maker MobaPad previously claimed that it will support 1080p resolution and that its new dock will support 4K resolution. While Nintendo has refrained from making any specific comments about future hardware when asked about features like backwards compatibility, the company plans to announce its next console during its current fiscal year, which runs until March 31st. Last month, it was claimed that developers had been briefed not to expect Nintendo's next console, before April 2025. Okay, we literally just read that. It'll delay that from this year to early 2025. Sources suggest the delay was so that it could prepare stronger first-party software for the console, while others have claimed that the move was made to avoid potential hardware supply issues. However, David Gibson, a senior research analyst of MST Financial, suggested earlier this month that financial guidance from Nintendo Assembler Hosiden might point to plans to launch the system sooner. And then he pointed out that no one's noticing that it's spending 2 billion yen on production equipment. Excuse me. And, 100 billion yen on automation. I still expect September news and March 2025 release for next date. So that's his prediction. But there you go. So what do you guys think of the new, possibly supposed Nintendo Switch 2? Be pretty insane. Let's see. Onish Gamer had information about Battletoads, Double Dragon, and more this month. Probably the same thing. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of like the same thing we got from Video Game Chronicles here. So we can close that. We talked about that. There's that Park Place with Dragon Ball Z. We'll get there shortly. Got that. Got that. I still think it's funny that they're thinking about the SNES mouse. Got that. All right, so this kind of ties in with Pokemon Company going after Palworld. Apparently, the Pokemon Company wins historic $15 million copyright lawsuit against Chinese clone. So the Pokemon Company has won a major legal battle against several Chinese firms over copyright and intellectual property theft. The court ruling handed down by the Shenzhen Intermediate People's Court ordered one company to pay more than $15 million in damage for creating a game that infringed upon the Pokemon Company iconic characters and trademarks. Oh, yeah, because I'm sure it did that. Because I'm sure you could, like, it really damaged the Pokemon Company. Sure. Oh, is this it right here? Team Go Rocket Leaders Cliff, Arlo, and Syria in Pokemon Go Shadow Raids. So the case centers around a turn-based RPG titled Pocket Monster Reissue, also known as Code Yaogue Fukelp. According to the lawsuit, it reportedly copied key elements from the original Pokemon franchise. Not only were characters like Ash Ketchum and Pokemon and Pikachu allegedly lifted directly from the Pokemon games, but the overall game design closely mirrored the mechanics. Via GameBiz.Japan, a Japanese news site, the court found that the game developers knowingly violated the Pokemon Company copyright. This wasn't a minor case. It seems that Pocket Monster Reissue is estimated to have generated a staggering $42 million annually. Despite this, the Pokemon Company originally sued for $72 million. The company also demanded a public apology from the defendants to acknowledge the widespread damage to their intellectual property. This court victory highlights the growing issue of intellectual property theft in the gaming industry. This is especially true when companies look to profit from unauthorized clones. 6 companies involved in the lawsuit were ordered to bear joint liability, although some are reportedly planning to appeal the ruling. And then in a statement, Pokemon Company emphasized that it will continue to aggressively defend its intellectual property rights. We will take necessary actions to protect our franchise, ensuring that fans worldwide can continue to enjoy authentic Pokemon content, a spokesperson said. The company's efforts are in line with other industry leaders who are increasingly taking legal action to combat knockoff games. This is particularly true in regions where intellectual property laws have historically been harder to enforce. So what makes this ruling significant? It shows that even in international courts, copyright violations are being taken seriously. It also serves as a warning to other developers looking to capitalize on the success of established franchises without proper authorization. And then as a global implication, what's up, Salvis Fighter? Crazy how Pokemon can't come up with a different game format. Yeah, protecting intellectual property is becoming more complex over time. This is especially true when dealing with cross-border legal issues. China is a country that has often been criticized for lax enforcement of IP law, but now it seems to be starting to see courts like Shenzhen's take stronger stances against these kind of violations. With gaming revenues soaring across the globe, successful franchises are increasingly attractive targets for copyright developers. And then the company's victory in this case could encourage more companies to pursue legal action against infringing products. Some companies plan to appeal the decision. Case could get dragged on, but for now it serves as a major win for the Pokemon Company and other intellectual property holders who have had their creative work compromised. And that ties into Nintendo and the Pokemon Company suing Palworld developer Pocket Pair. And they are claiming that Palworld infringes multiple patent rights. And they have filed a patent infringement lawsuit against Palworld developer Pocket Pair, announced Wednesday, that's today. This lawsuit, which was filed in the Tokyo District Court, seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Palworld, a game developed and released by the defendant, infringes multiple patent rights. Nintendo will continue to take necessary actions against any infringement of its intellectual property rights, including the Nintendo brand itself, to protect the intellectual property it has worked hard to establish over the years, it said in a statement. Released in January via Steam, the monster-catching survival game Palworld was an immediate hit, attracted 25 million players in the first month, according to Pocket Pair. The game's huge success ignited a debate around perceived similarities between its character designs and those of the Pokemon games. Although the gameplay of Palworld is vastly different from Nintendo's series, debates swelled around the perceived influence its character designs have taken for Pokemon, and whether it could be interpreted as plagiarism. There's even some accusations that Palworld's 3D models were nearly identical to those found in Pokemon games, with the two experienced AAA game artists telling VGC that if this was indeed the case, it would likely indicate that Palworld's character models were based on Pokemon assets. I mean, yeah, you got, what is it, Lucario, kind of like a Pikachu a little bit, but not really. I feel the name slipped me, and then that one's like your Lapras or something like it. Shortly after Palworld's release, it broke its silence on the situation by releasing a statement that it was investigating whether Palworld infringed on its IP rights. And then Nintendo president Shintaro Furukawa later commented on the issue during a financial result briefing. While he didn't specifically cast aspirations on Palworld itself, he reportedly replied, "We will take appropriate action against those that infringe on our intellectual property rights." And then before the Pokemon Company statement, Palworld's director and CEO developer Pocket Pair, Takuro Mizobe, responded to the accusations against the game, speaking to Japanese site Automaton. He claimed that Palworld had cleared legal revises. Oh, and then it just ends right there. Well, there you go. Interesting how, yeah, I saw that comment down there. Interesting in how it took him so long to finally like get around to this. But that's interesting because he's claiming he also took the time to clear legal reviews to make sure that, which is, I mean, just by doing that, I mean, obviously, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, got to make sure, you're fine with everything. Or it's the other side of, if he has to do this, then clearly he knows that he's like very borderline close to, infringing of some sort of infringement. But yeah, Nintendo has finally come around to go after Palworld. And we know how they feel about, like they said, their intellectual property, ROMs, preservation. None of this wouldn't be a huge issue if, like, if they actually took the time to preserve their games and crap like that. It's like when Emu Paradise went down. You had games there that you literally can't get a hold of anymore. It's like, no, that's our property. It's like, dude, you're not making any money off of it. What are you going to fucking do with it? Like, if people came around and demanded that you re-release this game, are you going to do it? Probably not. It's a slippery slope. Slippery slope. Me, I still tie it back into, if you can, get a physical copy of it, rip that sucker, do whatever you can to know that you actually have it in some way, shape, and form, because these companies want you to go all digital. And once you go all digital, you'll be forced to pay the most extreme tier because that's the best bang for your buck. And by going digital, if for some reason down the road they find out that you have wrongthink or XYZ, they can just unplug your library and you don't actually own it and you can live with it. Don't like it, think it's bullshit. Watch out. So before we get to Dragon Ball Z, I've always been not a huge Turtle fan. I mean, there's a lot more like Turtle fans out there besides me. But this caught my eye coming from bounding into comics. Publisher IDW seeking to create more original IP. Subjects of interest include superheroes, crime, and modern-day retelling of Bible stories. And that's what specifically caught my mind. Because what do you mean by retelling of Bible stories for modern day? So IDW is moving to balance out its current stable of licensed series with a brand new roster of original and wholly publisher-owned IPs. As recapped to the public by Bleeding Coal's Rich Johnston, this pivot for the Sonic the Hedgehog and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was first revealed by company CEO Davide Jonas during an impromptu investor call on September 16th. Speaking to shareholders in relations to that IDW's Q3 2024 earning call that same day, it's unclear whether the investment call took place before or after. He admitted that the publisher had had a pretty rocky last 5 to 7 years. The company went public in around 2009, and it was just a publishing company that really didn't do entertainment or entertainment exploitation. He explained, and as a publishing company, the business was quite profitable. It was a small company, entrepreneurial. Every dollar that was made went back into reinvesting into the business, but there were real cash reserves for the company. Well, that's a pretty sweet picture, not going to lie. Godzilla there. Space Gojira. Around 2013, company made a decision to make a foray into entertainment and decided to become something of a studio and a producer. While we now are reaping some of the benefits with Winona Earp as an example, those were costly investments and frankly did not pay off and ended up causing IDW significant financial stress towards the end of 2019 and 2020. Company just had to pay off loans for the production as well as investment into entertainment as an asset class, doing scripts and developments and building a studio. Those things have panned out. I think everybody would be on a yacht and clinking glasses and saying how brilliant that idea was. In retrospect, didn't work out, and those investments didn't pay off. Yeah, you got this right here, which when I came into IDW about 16 months ago, the company was in a pretty precarious spot, he further recalled. They had gotten back down to a place where they were pretty low on the cash by the time we were able to staunch the bleeding. The company had gone from the start of the year at about $10.5 million in cash to about $3.5 million. And then turning to the future, we're confident turning things around and we feel we're on a path of profitability. We are already profitable and believe we will be sustainable profitable. What's up, Scotty? I'm an hour late. What did I miss? You missed just a bunch of rando news. The big thing, we just got done talking about the Pokemon Company and Nintendo are finally suing Palworld. Some more Assassin's Creed Shadows garbage. Some Switch leaks, supposedly, of the Switch 2. Right now we're reading about IDW seeking to create more original IPs, superheroes, crime, and most importantly, modern-day retellings of the Bible story. And I want to get to that part. We get it. You guys were... Because I'm getting tired of reading about, we were struggling. Like, we get it. You're struggling. Anyway. So, personal investment and all that stuff. As to how he saw this personal investment or personnel investment paying off, the CEO praised the publisher's tremendous talent team of great storytellers and revealed that he was looking to have them focus on developing our own wholly owned IP, which he believes will be, in turn, create huge value in the underlying portfolio for our shareholders. To this end, Jonas revealed that IDW was looking... I guess I missed the lawsuit of Palworld. Yeah, it's nothing too big about it. It's just it's beneficial. Like they're starting it, and supposedly the creator of Palworld did his own thing to look into it before he did everything to make sure that it was legal for it to do it. But who knows? So they're looking to explore 3 different types of original IPSs. Or IPs. I don't know why I said IPSs. A new universe of superheroes, a world of crime and serial killer-based drama, and per Johnston, quote, retellings of biblical characters and stories set in a modern era with a modern storyline. That's going to be interesting because the Bible is not woke, nor is it progressive. And trying to do so, you're straight up going to bastardize the whole thing. Now, if they're trying to do something like Romeo and Juliet, you know, the modernized version of Romeo and Juliet, where the language and everything was the same, but it's just, you know, pumped up to be more modernized that way, then I could see it. But chances are they're going to be like straight up just changing the story. Palworld is just remixing ideas. Though to see IDW being this desperate is quite a sight. I know. We want to reach a whole new audience to bring the talent of the comic industry and mesh it with the religious community. Good luck, because a lot of the extreme people in the religious community will say, oh, you know, are hysterical about it, you know, and satanic, it's, you know, sacrilegious, all that stuff. So apparently they're thinking by mixing in with the comic industry, with the religious community, it'll be a large book buying community. Just seeing the success of religious cinema, there's a huge element of growth. Excuse me. In exploring these genres, the CEO hopes for IDW to produce prime for new publishing material, as well as a new entertainment material based on our new creative in the publishing business. In other words, comic books that will serve as blueprints, illustrated pitches for Hollywood adaptation. Oh boy, you're shooting for the stars there, I feel. Fortunately for those interested, per Jonas, the launch of these new IPs is a bit down on the road. I would say expect those in the next 3 months, he concluded, but I'd say you could start expecting to see some of these titles coming out within the next 12 to 16 months. Well, there you go. Oh boy. I mean, I am interested to see what sort of crazy insanity they will think of a modern day retelling of Bible stories. Because I actually had the idea of doing a modernized version of Samson, but obviously keep the story the same. Just see, what you can do to make it fit into today's world. Oh. Sorry. Yawning over here. It's been a long day, both physically and mentally. But here we go. Box art reveals Dragon Ball Sparking Zero features over 180 characters as producer shares how each one is unique. So, Bandai Namco and developer Spike Chunsoft's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero game will feature over 180 characters. This appears to be the key art right there. I don't know. I am not a fan of Super. And part of me, kind of is sad whenever I see new Dragon Ball stuff and now Super stuff being added to it. I don't know. It just, to me, Dragon Ball Z was done after the Majin Buu saga. Hell, I've even said that GT actually wrapped up the Dragon Ball universe as far as I'm concerned, because it brought everything back full circle. So I don't know. Just that's how I feel about the thing. But anyway, an image of the back case was shared by 2X by Dragon Ball Scooper. DBS hype that clearly states more than 180 characters. It also reveals the game will feature immersive stages and iconic and novel episodes, including a battle between Cell and Beerus that is depicted. And once again, we are not seeing the picture, so we'll click it. There you go, right here. For display only. Looks pretty dope. Break the heavens. So Bandai Namco and Spike Chunsoft has revealed over 150 characters already, with the most recent being a number of GT characters included. And I've read all of these before. Surprised they didn't include Ice and Nova Shenron. In fact, the game's producer, Jun Furutani, recently shared in an interview on Bandai Namco's website that every single character that will be playable in the game will be announced before the game ships on October 11th. Furutani stated that we still have many characters to reveal. We can promise one thing: fans will know every playable character at launch before the game comes out. Please stay tuned for our official announcement to come. Not only are there so many characters, but Furutani highlighted that they are all unique. He said every single character in the roster is unique. They all have big special moves, but also small movements like punches and kicks are customized so they feel unique. I personally feel that Budokai 3 kind of did the same thing, at least with the stances and the kind of the character style. Yeah, some people had similar like punches and stuff a little bit. Budokai 3 did something similar too. But yes, Budokai Tenkaichi definitely analyzed like moves from the series and stuff. Ones that didn't even have any names, so I give them credit for that. Put a lot of effort into these small details. But I mean, I'm still going to get this game. I have to get it for Steam because I don't have a PS5 or new Xbox, which is what makes this game so special to me, which sucks because I'd like to own a copy, like physically own it. But so, of course, I would be happy if the player hopefully notices these details and enjoy the immersive experience of becoming a Dragon Ball character, he said. Furutani also shared the philosophy behind the game and why, after 17 years, they decided to revive the Budokai Tenkaichi series. He explained, 17 years ago, we launched the third installment of Budokai Tenkaichi and concluded the series. Since then, there have been several other Dragon Ball games filling the time and the gap for Budokai Tenkaichi players. What about the Budokai players? What the heck? But given all the developments in the game technology, there was the inspiration and the incentive to create a more immersive and modern Dragon Ball experience and explore movements. I'm really getting tired of the word modern being used all the time. Like, we understand it. We get it. We get it. It's today's gaming. Gosh, just say today's gaming. Anytime they say modern, it's some woke garbage. I feel like, well, no, because they've already have a little wokeness in here with the English dub, with Kid Trunks saying no cap, which does not fit in the Dragon Ball universe whatsoever. Gosh, I hate that crap. I hate Zoomer lingo. Anyway, Dragon Ball experience and explore movements that were not in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, he shared. Therefore, we decided to create a sequel to Budokai Tenkaichi. He elaborated, as a successor, it is important that players who play the previous games have an experience that is new but also fits seamlessly into their old memories. You hate that they don't respect the script? Me too. Me too. You could easily have fit like okay into that mouth flap. But anyway, when they played the new game, it should feel like, oh yeah, this is familiar, like the previous games. We adapted the original battle system, but we also kind of evolved it and put in some new mechanics, trying to create a new, more immersive experience, he explained. As for why they improved to the series, she shared, one of the main improvements is that you can experience the superpowers of Goku and others in real time. One of our main goals is to let the players experience what it's like to be a character in the Dragon Ball world. We are putting a lot of effort into this. He then explained how he and his team are doing this. For example, when Goku starts charging his ki, the weather in the background change, or, the environment changes. These kind of things are, of course, possible now in real time. That is pretty cool, because we always wanted to see that. Like if you hit someone with the Kamehameha, for example, and you blow them away, then when they hit a building, the building will crumble or a mountain will be destroyed. So all this interaction with the environment in real time makes the whole thing a much more immersive experience and make the player feel like they're really inhabiting the characters, he said. Now, I want to know if they include, like, if you get the final kill blow with like a super blast or something like that. I want to know if you'll actually see them like get disintegrated and stuff like that, because that's always something I always wanted to see. And I'm talking like your old school back in the day with like their face getting distorted and stuff like that. That'd be dope. He also shared that they introduced a new ability called a revenge counter that allows you to counter opponents when they attack you. He explained, for example, like in the Dragon Ball series, you can instantly move from one place to another using a quasi-teleportation. And there are other things, like when you are attacked, you can counter the attack and fight back. This is called a revenge counter in the new game. These are all things that the fans know from the Dragon Ball series, which is now added to the fighting system so that you can have even more Dragon Ball experience. One of the more interesting aspects of the game takes place in the game's episode battle mode and allows players to have a different story than the one that took place in the original manga or anime. Jun shared, so as you could probably see in previous release videos, there is an option for players to make choices within the episode, which will impact how the story will proceed. But at the same time, there are certain outcomes of battles that may also impact the outcome of the story. For example, if within an episode battle you win against an opponent that in the anime you weren't able to beat, this may impact upcoming battles and battle scenarios. Both the choices that the players make and the outcome of the battle may influence the chance that the player will experience new battle story paths. Therefore, ideally, the player should try to become the character, think about how they would react into the situation, and enjoy the different experiences that arise in the episode battle. Dude, this sounds dope. I don't think these people understand the slightest bit about Dragon Ball. The English, like the dubbing people, probably not. They probably hate it. However, he did indicate that this is limited given it is based on the source material. Of course, episode battle is based on the original scenario, so naturally these choices and these different outcomes are limited to certain battle stages and will not be available all the time. What do you make of the sheer number of playable characters in Dragon Ball Z sparking 0? That Park Place asked. Again, I don't really care about the size of playable characters, because in the old games, you had Frieza, Soldier number 1, or a pool, or Cybermen, that their biggest move is to self-destruct. And so, but I am definitely excited about this game. I will be playing it, and I will snag this game. But I'm intrigued by them having the detail of everything. If they really got down to it, like obviously this will be one of the best Dragon Ball Z games of all time. I do wish that Budokai series would be brought back, because I loved Budokai. They kind of did it with Infinite World. That flopped, and then Burst Limit, and that kind of also flopped a little bit. Burst Limit did something that none of the other games that I've noticed do, and that is like when Android 17 punches Piccolo and his back like extends really far out. Burst Limit did that, and that was a cool little feature that I liked. So I'm wondering if they included something like that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like they've enhanced the graphics a lot. The very first time I saw something about this, it looked too paper cutout, in my opinion. Like the aura and stuff like that looked, like I said, like a little papery cutout. And it just didn't seem right. But it seems like they've obviously fixed a lot of the stuff too. Again, I'm kind of biased. Like, you've seen it before. You've seen people use like the like blue electric like animation, like in that's clearly DBZ influence sort of thing. That's kind of what like it reminded me of in the beginning when it was first announced. But it's looking really solid now, so I've kind of changed my my thoughts on that. Again, probably because I'm thinking about Budokai. But that is all I have for you guys tonight. So hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, if you were new and you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button over on YouTube and Rumble. And we were on X as well. See a lot of people were viewing on X, so I appreciate you guys coming to hang out with me. Hope you enjoyed my reading. We get better as we do it more and more, you know. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be continuing gaming either Blue Dragon or Luigi's Mansion 2, which I've been really enjoying. I've been wanting to finish that series because I played 1 and 3. I've been wanting to play 2 for a while. I've had it, but it was hard to emulate the 3DS version. But we got the Switch version. Got that up and running. So that's been really fun. Looking forward to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Honestly, with all the games that are coming out, or all the games that we've been reading about, this one's the one that I would probably say I'm most excited for. Oh, and Brothership, since we actually just finished Paper Jam. Mario and Luigi series is a great game. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Let's see. Let's see if over on YouTube, if we got anybody we can like redirect to or something. Redirect. Not really seeing anybody. Anybody on Rumble? Anybody on the old Rumble? Oh, Alex is there. I like Alex. Alex Zedra. Let's go ahead and we'll raid Alex over there. And then, of course, if you guys want to follow me on X, you can always follow me on there. Get my thoughts and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all I have for you. You guys have a good rest of your night. Could do with some prayers, just mentally struggling with stuff and, you know, trying to follow the Lord's will. So could use some prayers for that. But other than that, thanks again, you guys, for hanging out. You have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that, but oh well. But yeah, God bless. Catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. If it ends.